Talk to the blacksmith.
Trust?
I know, ladles and lassies, whatever you want to say.
Like you to
Why am I
craft something
doing
for
this?
me.
Do you have any weapons for me to get? No Witcher gear. No Witcher. Okay, we're fine. Let's, anything to buy from you? I'm gonna go with no. Yeah, I don't think there's anything we need. I'll get rid of some of the heavier stuff. Or just all these. That was worth 150. And can you go? You can go, and that's probably it for now. Alright. Repair, maybe? There we go. How about we place some Guante? Alright, where's the first travel station? It's like over here-ish. I don't know why I'm calling it a station. It's a post. Don't ignite. Alright, let me go look through the locked door area. Would she be over here? Or maybe it's out back behind the house, who knows? I'm gonna go over here. Oh no, that was okay. There's some more. Some scratches over there, wire, all that.
Something here. A chest. Dolores.
100 florins? Don't mind if I do. I mean, we turned the quest in already, right? It's done. Yeah, we did. Okay. Fake papers, yep. And, yep, that one. Okay. Let me, what are we, a 7? We can do the invitation to Kirmetz. Sure. Now, am I riding there? Probably not. Mid-corpse, probably. Fast travel there, yeah. I want to hit like level 10 before I go through and get a bunch of the side stuff. I'm going to do them all, I just want to, you know, level up first before we have to deal with like enemies that are level 14s or whatever and we get walloped in one hit. Roach. Or anything on this billboard? Yeah. If I catch anybody taking plums from my orchard, I'll cleave him in two with my axe. Don't say I didn't warn you. Ladies of the wood are unhappy, so the trees whisper the offerings what we make are not enough. We pray to sell them, and too often we take the name in vain. Mend ye ways, good folk, show contrition and fever in your faith, for it is the ladies to abandon us. For if the ladies abandon us, we'll all perish in this forsaken bog. I shear the hair off any trollop who fraternizes with the Nilfgaardians, so her boldness will proclaim her shame to all, and I'll carve the face of any peddler who deals with the black ones and provide them as a service. Dear neighbors, I've had these awful dreams where I open my mouth and all my teeth come tumbling out at once, then turn into vile, squirming little things and burrow to the ground. What could this portion, misfortune, illness, a barren womb? If you know, pray tell, and I'll feast you berries and broth. We'll do any job for a bowl of soup or a scrap of bread. I've done it a bit of coopering and carpentering. And have my, that sounds like a weird way, I don't think I'm pronouncing it right. Alright, carpentering and have my own tools. Alright. Roach, my boy. You're not rich. Wait a minute, you're not rich.
Giddy up.
Don't mind me. Alright. Wolfsbane, let's go.
The rats, why did he need them?
Bloody rodents. Better to have stuffed them with a poison, or crushed them into a...
Kira, what are you doing?
Geralt. You gave me quite a start.
But nay, the mage, he says, bring me rats and healthy ones. Not something the cat dragged in.
This the lamp from the elf's hideout? And what's this about rats?
Nothing important. I'll explain later. Now tell me, to what do I owe the pleasure?
Would you want the magic lamp?
Why do you want the lamp?
You just witnessed why. To communicate with lost souls.
Didn't know you were interested in that kind of magic.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Why'd the elf promise you the lamp?
We traded for it. He needed powerful magic and sensed I was no common wart charmer. I brewed him a potion. To delay nervous tissue degeneration, stave off memory loss or some such.
Who'd he want to use it on?
He didn't say.
What do you have to buy?
Bet the old witch who lived here left you a bunch of interesting sundries.
She did indeed. I gather you'd like a look.
Very much so.
You got a bunch of stuff. Okay. Returns on ability points. No. But it's good to know you have one. I want to buy all these. Sure. We have the money for it, I think. So much, though. What are these? You got more formulae. Dragon oil. What do we have to sell to her? We don't really have much. But yeah, sure, buy all these. Please. We're not gonna have enough money. You are 486 coins. You don't want my garbage either. Was worth nothing. Nothing. Where are you again? And look at that. Oh my goodness. I don't really want to buy these. Give me the formulae. And the books. There we go. I'll read the books. Let's save my money. I can always come back. I'm pretty sure. Do any core fungus? No. Or fiend fungus? No. What honey? What are you doing in Velen?
So, bet you saw this question coming. What are you doing here?
Let me think. Enjoying the country air? Admiring the unspoilt scenery? Or is it furthering the age-old alliance between the city and its breadbasket? No, I'm in hiding, Geralt. Blind to the state of the world? Don't you see what's happening?
Mean the persecution mages now face?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Radovid's new pastime. Pursuing anyone with a whiff of magic about them. Witch hunters. Sound familiar? Murderers scouring the north from end to end, burning books, hanging soothsayers, torturing herbalists.
Why Velen, though?
Picked a
Did
strange
we already
place
talk
to
about
hide.
this?
I didn't pick anything. In the north, Radovid's
We did.
men
Why was
hunt-
this, like,
Emperor-
new?
Rad-
Yeah, we know.
No.
Because you're back
No, no, no.
here? The topic at hand. Anywhere from the sorceresses of the lodge?
Any news of your sisters from the lodge?
None. We can't know too much about one another these days. It's safer that way.
Even tried to contact one another?
I've wanted to many times. But I've no way of knowing who would answer, or who might be listening.
So you had a request from me.
Mentioned you wanted something from me.
I did, and still do. The Cursed Isle on Lake Windammer. You've heard of it, I'm sure. The local peasants mumble incessantly about it, about the wraiths that haunt it. They claim none who go there return.
How'd it come to be cursed?
That's what I don't know. I must break this spell, yet I've been unable to identify its source.
Gotta know something.
Scraps. The curse is somehow linked to the tower where Serard, the lord of these lands, took refuge when Nilfgaard invaded. Claims in the village are that peasants, desperate of hunger, sailed to Fyke Isle to beg for food. Met their end there. It was a massacre. So, will you please help me lift this curse? You're so good at these things.
Why do you want to lift the curse?
Why are you so intent on this?
I'm not, the local peasantry is. The Isle, miss. You've got to lift the charm. You're a good witch, a great witch. There's no end to it.
Uh-huh. See, I thought you didn't care for the locals. The great witch you are.
I failed to lift the curse, and they could conclude I'm not so great. Not enough to conceal me from the witch hunters and risk getting sent to the gallows themselves.
What others think. Your image. That's all you care about.
The point is, listen. I didn't flee to these wilds just to stupidly get caught because some boar with grit under his fingernails grows annoyed with me.
Verzerod had... Wait, what? Verzerod had all the peasants killed?
So the peasants who went to the island for food, this lord had them murdered?
The villagers say he had them poisoned.
A real gentleman.
Well, I never met him. But he certainly didn't seem such a cruel man, judging by what a mage from the Isle told me.
A mage lived on the island? Did you know him? Where is he now?
We were friends. Sadly, he died that day as well.
I am going to save
Very
scum this
few
quest, by the way, at the very end.
Yet even those who escaped the Isle soon suffered agonizing
If
deaths.
I need to.
Strangely,
Remember one of
they
the
did not
options...
seem to have
I should
been
probably
poisoned.
stop talking. But one of the options at the very end is, like, weirdly worded. And I want to have the option that I went with the first time I played the game. And... I forget how you gotta say it. It's like, you think you... He said something more harshly than it's written. And... yeah. So that's what when I get to the point, I'll save scum. If I have to, I might not have to. I did it right the first time, but maybe I gotta, you know, I got it wrong this time.
All right, I'll help.
I knew you'd find it irresistible. Naturally, you'll need to sail to Fyke Isle.
Fine.
Flag Isle.
What then?
Well, the spirits who wander the Isle, you must establish a rapport with them. Don't know how, but they could point us in the direction of the curse's source.
Think they'll be willing to chat?
Of course, provided you take my magic lamp with you. I shall let you keep it afterwards in appreciation. You'll find it quite useful, I'm sure.
Magic lamp. Why won't you go with me?
Can't you just come with me?
I tried to go to Fyke Isle once. Thought my head would burst, the curse's magic was so strong.
Nice of you to send me there.
I experienced an acute nasal hemorrhage. You stand to endure a wobble of your medallion at most. At Aretusa, they trained me to detect even the subtlest magic pulses. This was like getting smacked across my haunches with a grain flail.
Funny. Thought you'd go in for that sort of thing.
Take my boat. I left it on the lake shore near the village. Should be fit to use. Provided rot hasn't eaten it, as it seems to eat everything here.
Magic lamp, how's it work?
How's the lamp actually work? I mean, do I just rub it, or do I have to do something, magical?
You needn't even rub. Just place it where you find bones and hear whispers. I suppose I should warn you. It might not be the most pleasant experience.
Figured as much. Tell you all about it later. Maybe skip the drastic bits.
You'll need to do neither. I'll give you a Xenovox. It's a bauble that will let us speak over some distance. You will tell me what you see, and I shall tell you what to do and look for.
Xenovox, never heard of that.
Never heard of a Xenovox.
It works just like a megascope, but is far more portable. Think of it as a magic box that talks.
They hard to build?
Extremely. That's why they're so rare. I certainly couldn't build anything like it.
So no chance these Xenovoxes will catch on with every mage using one?
Not the slightest.
Where'd you get the Xenovox?
So where'd you get the Xenovox?
Found it in the mine along with the lamp. Thought it was part of the lamp at first. Didn't realize what I'd actually found until later.
Think it belonged to the elven mage?
Clearly. And I didn't even know the elves used them.
Off to Fyke Isle.
I need to know anything else before I go?
No, that is all. Oh, go already. I can't wait to see what you discover on Fyke Isle. Just be sure to come and see me afterwards. And Geralt. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a new quest item. Yeah. I know. Probably equip it in here, shouldn't I? Take off. Oh no, it's here. Put it away, Geralt. Alright, where's your boat at? Right out back. If it is, I'm gonna take Roach. Said you had one right down here, but whatever. Head south. I don't want to fight the downers. It's probably Mark. I mean, we're going down here. You mark the quest. Tower of Mice. I wonder what that could be a reference to. Yep, that's our boat down here, past the downers. Nice. I mean, I can go around actually. Also, can we buy stuff from her after this quest ends? I don't know. So the stuff I left inside her inventory might just be gone. I'm not gonna spend any more money on it. It's not for now, at least until we get some more. Use Kira's bow to reach Fyke Isle. Those birds. Look at them birds.
Geralt, can you hear me? How goes it? Where are you?
Almost there.
Splendid. I shall contact you again soon.
Wait, this Xenovox. Can I contact you with it, or is it one way?
One way only, I'm afraid. You'll have to trust my feminine intuition.
Your what?
My feminine intuition!
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Ooh. Too lewd. No, I can't. I can't. You wouldn't do it to me. Let me do a quick save, 'cause I don't want to ride this boat again. Don't get out, girl. Whatever. I'll swim. Get the same noises. Alright, the Rotafines.
Geralt? Are you on the island yet? Focus in the box work. Can you
Kaboom.
hear me?
What? Can't hear. Great. Sheesh. Luckily it was magic.
What did you say? There's some interference. You must be very careful.
His range. He attacked me. As I thought they couldn't move when they were exploding. I didn't know they could actually run at you. Run at you. Hi, 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 hi. Mutagens change the way signs work. I didn't actually know that. Man, I knew there was different alternate uses of the abilities, but I didn't know that some mutagens change the way they work altogether. I didn't know Ard can be shoot a frost bolt instead of the wind. Or like a frost stomp, I don't know what it would be.
Geralt? Are you on the aisle yet?
Yeah.
Does the Xena box work? Can you hear me?
What? Can't hear. Great. Broke already. It's magic.
What did you say? There's some interference. You must be very careful.
Might the same noises. Nope. There we go. Necrophage rag or whatever that said. I don't know. There's a ghost around here. Maybe inside. Who the hell, who the hell, who the hell, who the hell, I thought that would go. Then I down her tongue. Apparently eluded you. Good night. Monster ear. A ghoul. Some bones. Swing. Swing with it. Swing for the ears. Stop it. I'm gonna swing. There we go.
Wonder what killed them. Doesn't look like the work of necrophages.
Can I look at your body? No? Okay, there's no ghost here for you. I'm not gonna fight those guys over there. I'm not worried about it. Just hit the one dude I've been hitting this whole time, girl, please. Thank you.
How do you like that silver?
There we go. Give me all your venom extract and all the above and yada yada yada. Nothing.
A fresh corpse. Must have come here a while after the nobleman's death.
I hear you, bees. They're just bees. There's no hive. They just avoid me, okay. But maybe they were lead somewhere. Can we look inside here? Dwarven spirit. Don't mind if we do. I tried.
Let's try Kira's lamp.
They're onto us. They're not letting Graham in.
Quiet, fool. Babylon and the noble himself will hear you.
Nah, he sat his arse on silk pillows, likely be gobbling meat. We've no notion he's coming to tear him to shreds.
Way's clear, lads. Adam!
Who the hell, who the hell, who the hell, who the hell, who the hell. Water. Don't you throw your feces at me. I tried to counter you. Didn't work. The Witcher?
Wonder what led them here. Hunger or greed?
Or greed. I don't really care about using the magic lamp.
Essence didn't come here to ask nicely.
Place is full of rats. As many dead as alive. I think they're feeding on...
Judge Geralt, stop. You needn't be so detailed.
The Circle of Igni?
Where's that noble? Lying here, quiet as a mouse, head split open like a rotted pumpkin. More like a peasant now, sloshing around in his own blood and shite. Nothing noble about him. Too quick a death they gave him. Should have been made to suffer. He's not the end of it. Sons can suffer for it, and a daughter. To the top!
Oh no, the 40 experience points wouldn't be missing if I don't get all the things. It's so dark in here.
Blood. Many must have died here.
Mind if I do? I'm gonna put on my... No, please. Ooh. Mind if I do? Pure silver, all of it. I'm building a longsword.
Rich folk. Doubt I'll ever understand them. Keeping rats in cages like rabbits.
Let him out, maybe? Like to die of hunger if we leave him there.
I'd sooner burn the vermin. Releasing him's not like to bring no good. Imagine the harm they'd do if they swam back to the village.
Swam? Rats?
Rich folk. Doubt
I just wanted to get everyone into the picture, and now I ruined it.
Rich folk. Doubt I'll ever understand them. Keeping rats in cages like rabbits.
Let 'em out, maybe? Like to die of hunger if we leave 'em there.
I'd sooner burn the vermin. Releasing 'em's not like to bring no good. Imagine the harm they'd do if they swam back to the village.
Swam? Rats? How do you figure they'd do that?
You needn't fret for 'em. Clever little bastards. Clever than you.
They seem sluggish to you. For the mange, maybe? Oh, and that stench!
Nothing? Nothing. Alright. This just goes outside, right? It's locked. Ah, my ears. Ghost here.
Don't start, Annabelle. Back to your craft. Always bending my ear about fool peasants. I'll not hear of them again. That simpleton turned your head, but one Graham hardly makes the rest courtly, one and all.
My lord, peasants. They're through the door in the tower.
Feel the same way, honestly. Alright, put you away. Now don't pull out the magic lamp. Anything to loot. No. The green fire burns forever. Nothing else out here? Nope.
Gold! Piles of it! Oh, won't do the dead any good now, will it? Strange it's still here. The noble died a time ago. Who's that? Show yourself. Anyone there? Who are you?
80 points. Elemental oil. No, you don't need you out yet. Oh my.
Where are you? Have you got to the laboratory at the top of the tower yet?
I'm at the top. Nothing here that looks like a laboratory.
Then you've not reached the highest level. Look for a passage.
Looks like a laboratory. Pretty well equipped, too.
Formulae. The Mage Alexander's Log Part 2. Where's Part 1? Day 346 never did like rats, not because of the obscene tales, but rather on account of their lively, disturbing intelligence. They're always listening when a man believes he is talking only to himself, and what's worse, they seem to understand. A few days ago, I caught myself talking to one of them, to a particularly large black male with a torn-off ear. At first, I was overcome by panic. Was the first manifestation of the illness? Of course, this was impossible. I had fortified my immunity with powerful spells. Upon further consideration, I concluded it was just altogether a natural reflex, one even the most trained among us I find hard to restrain. We mages like to be listened to. I placed the black rat into a separate cage. The time will come if they play a part in the test. Meanwhile, it can keep me company and observe. Notice it looks with great concentration in the cages of his afflicted brethren, particularly those in the last cages of illness. Fascinating. Speaking of company, I have none besides the black rat and cannot hope for a better. Desirado voiced the laboratory and has expressed his desire for his daughter to steer clear of me as well. At first I thought he feared a moral scandal, which would be risible in the extreme, but he explained the true reason in due course. It seems Annabelle has always possessed a fragile physique, psychic constitution. Observing the ill might throw her into foul humors. The peasants taking part in the study have stopped speaking to me. I don't know what they believe this little act of defiance will serve. Does me no harm. They made up 4 lousy conversation partners. There remains, of course, the woman, but as for her, I try to limit my contact. Day 362. Okay, about 16 days later. The black rat has died today. I found him curled up in his cage. I suspected he had become afflicted by an accident, but during the autopsy I did not uncover any signs of illness. He was also perfectly well fed. Strange from a medical point of view, his death remains unexplained, something which I must admit irritates the scholar in me, but as mentioned previously, I'm not particularly fond of rats. You see Kira message writing to him.
Experimenting on humans. Never would have gotten away with it if the Conclave were still in charge.
I never read this book yet. Day 237. My experiments continue to return results I must consider unreliable. Methodological errors are not a fault. The problem lies in the shoddy and fallible research material I'm forced to work with. Despite his prior assurance, Desirado is unable to provide me with enough moderately healthy specimens for my test. Most of the material is starved and terrified, having been dragged here straight from the dungeon. I waste a great deal of time daily washing and deluging. Then before I waste so much and let them step foot into my laboratory. Sterility first. As Marty Stottergren managed to provide in her little-known work, the attitude of a patient undergoing treatment can have a significant impact on the battle against the disease. Unfortunately, the volunteers with which I am supplied do not know sufficient comprehension, let alone enthusiasm for the noble work in which they are taking part. In fact, it seems they consider the research part of their punishment. I've tried a few times, though I am but a poor speaker, to convince them that they are contributing to the eradication of one of the greatest plagues tormenting mankind. I had the distinct impression they understood little, but perhaps their stupor was merely the result of the early stages of the illness. Of course, it is impossible to achieve success without significant sacrifices. The overwhelming majority of them will have to lay down their trifling lives on the altar of learning, but that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Just as warties flying slathered toads croak into the fetid swamps in search of kindred company, so too do sorceresses seek their own kind. Driven to gather and scheme against all that is good and worthy, the coven gathering the worst of them, the nab, those utterly depraved and swollen, thick with pus of magic, with the lodge of sorceresses. The first fiends of the lodge were Philippa Eilhart, Lady of Montecarlo, Trish Marigold of Maribor, Kira Miss of Cardus, Margarita Lux and Teal, Seal de Transvile of Creighton, Sabrina Glasvig of Ard Kyra, Virgila Vigo of Euroclair, Francesca Findabar, and Ida Emin, Elven Woman, Ashar von Artrid, and Yennefer of Vagenberg. On the summit of Bald Mountain they gathered, witches all to swear faithfully into the devils and demons, the masters and lovers, and the promise to bring doom upon those living in peace in the northern realms. 'Twas they, wonder who wrote this. 'Twas they who stood behind the murders of Demandvan, king of Arden, Foltest, king of Temeria, and many other noble men besides. 'Twas they who brought about the outbreak of yet another war in Nilfgaard. 'Twas they who set plague and pox against decent God-fearing folk. Yet take comfort, dear reader, for their deeds shall not go unpunished. Our gracious... Okay. Leader Radovid, fifth of his name, saw through their lies and swore to their deaths that are as inevitable, that shall be painful. Conjunction of the spheres. Scholars have many vices, possibly the worst among them a tendency to describe in the simple of unnecessarily complex terms, dressed up plain in the garb of the false learning. Conjuncture of the spheres might serve as an excellent example of this. This name, so mysterious to commoner's ear, could be replaced with a much simpler alternative when the worlds collided. The phenomenon itself can be explained in terms simple enough for a child to understand. Imagine, dear reader, that our world is a ship sailing in a great sea. From its deck we can see each other, distant vessels. Those are the stars. These vessels each bear their own goods and their own crews. Usually pass at some distance, barely visible specks, even viewed through a spyglass once every 1,000 years. However, a storm breaks above the cosmic sea. A storm so strong it tosses the ships aside or towards one another, making them sail cheek by jowl. Part of the crew of one ship can, at such times, move to another, and some of the cargo from one ship's hold can spill into the neighboring vessel. When the weather calms, the ships separate once again and sail their separate, invariably different ways. This is so-called post-conjunction beings, namely monsters such as ghouls and basilisks, that are precisely such passengers from another vessel. And we humans are castaways, flung against our will from somewhere far away to a world previously inhabited by the elder races. Once here, we learn the arcane mysteries of magic unbeknownst to us before. Could the worlds collide once more? Perhaps. Can the cataclysm be avoided or the opposite hastened? Some scholars believe there are beings who have mastered the skill, who possess rare genes, allow which some to seize the helm of our vessel and steer us to safer waters or to our doom. Travel between worlds. Running through many folk tales. Didn't I buy 5 books? Running through many folk tales, and maybe I already had those. Tales as common mode of travel between worlds. By way of example, think of Orpheus, who ventured into the nether realms to save his beloved. Theodore, who, fleeing a hurricane, found himself in a drab, monotonous world of Zoe. Or Alicia, who tumbled down a ferret hole into a land that had never heard of wonder. Also of this ilk are the many rural legends that people captured by the wild hunt, only to return to their homelands after years riding the sky and their spectral cavalcade. Academia has, for the most part, dismissed these tales as mere ephenomena of human irrationality. I, on the other hand, always operate on the assumption that a grain of truth lies in every tale, and so have decided to make it my goal to find. After years of research, I discerned with great certainty that the travel between worlds was once indeed possible, though only to a select few. Key is so-called elder blood, or rather the use of scholarly term, the gene of Lara Doran, powerful elven sorceress. By comparing her genealogical tables against all known folk tales, I have been able to determine that she and her descendants were the archetype of the of the world's traveling heroes of many legends. The bearers of Lara. I hate reading. Bearers of Lara's gene possess an extraordinary talent which allowed them to move through time and space to reach realms beyond the borders of the known world. The overwhelming majority of them, however, did not know how to control this. It was only to manifest itself in extreme situations, pushed out by sudden bursts of emotion or when the bearer's life was at risk. This is how the above-mentioned Ophelius, in shock after the death of his wife, could in fact journey to another world, which he foolishly mistook for the afterlife. The hurricane provided the pressure needed for Theodore, terrorized at home by his zany Uncle N, to unleash his talent and teleport to a world free of the madcap antics. And if we read between the lines, we clearly see Alyssa was a prostitute and a fish tech addict. The ferret hole represents how, when she had reached rock bottom, she whiskeyed herself away to another universe to get sober. Unfortunately for any future Clausius, the conclusion of my research is this: Lara Doran's line has been irrevocably cut off. The last bearer of her gene, Cyrilla Fiona Ellen Rionan, heirs to the throne of Sintra, died childless many years ago. She ain't dead, y'all. Stop crying. I'm here. Annabelle.
Why did you leave? You claimed to love me. I'm cold. Why has no one come for me? I cannot leave this place. I see no way out. Who are you? Do you seek to hurt me as well?
Then they fear me?
Don't be afraid. I want to lift the curse that grips this island. Your turn to tell me who you are. The other ghosts, they couldn't see me.
I'm special. Always was. The rare beauty. The Lord's daughter. These lands, as far as the eye can see, were ours. My family and I, we hid in the Major's Tower to await the war's end, the end of hard times. It was not to be forever.
Mage of the Tower, who was he?
Mage who lived here. Who was he?
Alexander? I hardly knew him. He spent most of his time locked away in this tower. He's dead too, you know. They're all dead. Mountains of corpses, yet I stand here alone, all alone. They've all abandoned me. Even he who promised me everlasting love. You will abandon me as well.
If I can lift the curse, you yourself will be free to leave.
What happened to the tower?
Tell me what happened here. Peasants sailed to the island to ask for food. Is that true?
No. They came to rob and kill. They thought us rich, believed we'd stowed ourselves away here to laugh at their misery. Yet we had little food as well. Too little to share with those who came. They slaughtered everyone. I heard my father cry out, but the mage told me not to reveal myself or let anyone in. He gave me a potion. If I was discovered, I was to drink it. He said everything would be all right.
The potion, what was it?
What kind of potion was it? Remember its smell? What it looked like?
I remember only that I feared to drink it.
Didn't trust the mage?
In the village, they claimed he meddled in disease. Not curing it, but causing it. They said he lured rats into the tower, infected them with the Catriona. Only rumors, surely, but I was afraid. So horribly afraid. And then I heard him. My beloved Graham. He called to me. I opened the door for him, but others rushed in. They lunged at me and...
Your beloved failed to save you, why?
Your beloved failed to save you. Why?
There were too many. Leave her be, he shouted. He grabbed at them, tried to stop them. They just laughed.
Did they harm you?
Did they hurt you?
They gripped my arms, tore at my dress. I managed to free myself and drink the potion, and then... nothing.
Poisoned. That how you died?
No, for I later awoke. I was alone, it was dark. Only there were rats everywhere. Dozens. Hundreds. And I couldn't move.
Sleeping potion. Effects hadn't worn off yet. You were paralyzed.
They were everywhere. All over me like insects. My face, my hands. I felt them rip open my skin, then crawl into my stomach. They tore me apart, and I could not even scream. Have I not suffered enough? Why can't I leave this place?
Find a fresh corpse in the tower.
You weren't the last to die on this island. Found a fresh corpse in the tower.
The island's a dangerous place. Folks should not venture here. I too wish to leave.
The dead man. Looked like a monster had attacked him, recently. The tower home to anything else?
How am I to know? There's lots of wraiths here. I hear them whispering every night.
Not talking about ghosts. A monster who hunts here. You must have noticed something.
I don't know. I've noticed naught. Why do you ask? Why must you press me so? You're to be my savior, not my tormentor.
Because she's the monster. Can you talk to other souls?
Can you talk to the island's other specters?
No, I'm alone here. The others, they flee when they see me. I know not why. You do not fear me, do you?
No. Used to dealing with ghosts. Though, gotta admit, there's something about you. You're different.
How can I help you?
How can I help you?
A curse born of hatred binds me to this place. Only love's power can hope to lift it. But who could love a wraith?
And your beloved, he dead too?
Graham? No, he lives. I would know if he died. But he fled and abandoned me. Left me here all alone.
Maybe you could strip the curse of its power by forgiving him. You might cleanse the isle.
Graham, tell me about him.
Your beloved, who is he? A noble son?
No, a poor fisherman. My father objected, strongly. He did not see us together. I miss him so. Each night I walk to the island shore to gaze upon the village. Does he remember me still?
Said before you can't leave the tower.
Did I? You must have misheard.
I don't think so.
I don't know anymore. It's all a nightmare to me.
The curse is focused on you?
As I see it, you're the curse's focus. The other ghosts on the island, their auras aren't nearly as strong as yours. My medallion started pulsating as soon as we started talking.
I don't know what you mean, but you do seem to know some things. You could be right. My fate is tied to the Isle, I feel that. Perhaps because I am heiress of these lands.
It could be your blood ties to the land, the base of the curse, that is. If so, forgiving Graham, laying your resentment to rest should lift it.
I loved him. I'm prepared to forgive him. But I must know that he regrets what he did. Take my bones to him. He must bury them. This will be our farewell. Will you speak to him? Will you do this for me?
Yep.
Fine. I'll talk to Graham. Where will I find him?
He lives in the village on the lakeshore, yet... What if he's forgotten me?
If he loved you, he'll remember, and want to help.
He said he would always love me. Go to him. Make haste, please.
Annabelle's remains. Take Annabelle to Graham. Don't mind if I do. I'm going more.
Kept in there until the end. What a shitty way to die.
Well, that's all there is. There's something out here, maybe. Hey. Mind if I do? Hanged Man's Venom. And Golden Oriole. And then downstairs. Should probably not jump. The combat roll. Stop breaking stuff. Oh, they stopped, you know, going crazy. I wonder why. Now, where you going? That's still locked. Is there a boat near here? There's one right to our west.
Millie, we gotta flee. Quick now. Millie! Millie, what's with ye?
I don't know. So what? Burn it! Ah!
What? No. No, stay back.
Don't leave me!
Let's level up. About to be a knight. Please. Let's go. Bolt with bait. Do 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 do.
Told you I don't want to see no one. You just leave me be.
Why you been following me?
What do you want from Graham?
Just wondering what you want from him. From Graham.
Me? Didn't want nothing. It's his mother be worried about him. Been locked in his hut since he came back from the Isle. Talks to no soul. Love's misery curdled his brains, I reckon.
Oh, yeah. Knock, please.
I want to talk.
You deaf, damn it! I told you. Who are you?
Been to Flag Isle.
I've been to the island. I know what happened there.
What do you want of me?
Hear about Annabelle.
Want to talk to you about Annabelle.
Annabelle? What can you know about her?
I met her. Talked to her.
Annabelle's dead. Drank poison. And I couldn't save her.
You loved Annabelle?
Did you love her?
Something mad. Loved her so deep I believed we'd come through, believed we'd be together. Of course, it was not to her father's liking. His daughter and a plain lout.
Flag Isle, what happened there?
What happened on Fyke Isle? You gotta tell me.
'Twere Millie, Finch and Faulkner. They rallied the men, all roughs, to go to the Isle, take back what was ours from the noble. They knew I was known at the tower, that the Lord's servants would open the gate for me since I sold them fish.
They forced you to go with them?
No, I saw my chance in it. For Annabelle and me to flee. But it all spun in a chaos. Our boys from the village, they started killing everyone. Annabelle, they wanted to rape. 'Twas then she drank the poison. Mage must have gave it her. I ran out the tower, hollering that I wanted to die, cursing them all to hell. Don't force me to speak of it. No more, please.
What exactly did you say?
Said you were hollering as you fled the tower, the island. What exactly did you say?
I don't remember. I wanted them to pay for what they'd done to her.
Might have cursed them. There's a powerful magic aura on Fyke Isle. Passions, evil intent, strong emotions of any kind can activate it. Your words could be the curse's source.
She took the poison because of them.
It wasn't poison Annabelle took?
It wasn't poison. Annabelle drank a strong sleeping potion. Mage wanted to protect her, make it look like she was dead. Convinced everyone.
But that means... Is she You said you spoke to her?
Spoke to her ghost. By the time she awoke, Tower was full of cold corpses. And rats. She was warm meat. Rats ate her alive.
You mean... she was alive the whole time? But... can't be. She was cold all through like a corpse. I shook her, begged her, open your eyes. I never thought...
Not your fault.
It's not your fault. No guilt in not knowing, and you couldn't know it wasn't poison she drank.
Gods, what have I done? If I had stayed behind to bury her, I'd have noticed she was alive. It might have ended different, ended well.
If you'd stayed on the island, I doubt you'd have survived.
I'd take death over leaving her to the rats like that. But there's naught I can do about it now.
Wrong on that count.
You can still help Annabelle.
Annabelle needs you. Her soul will only find peace if you help her.
But what can I do? It's too late.
Bury her bones. Annabelle should be laid to rest by one who loved her. It's the only way to lift the curse that holds Fyke Isle.
Those are... her bones?
Yes.
Give them here. And leave me be.
Hold on. Let's go. Get a new spot. We did get a new spot. Let me max out our Fleetfoot. Get off the table, my bood. My bood.
Annabelle was no ordinary ghost. She's a pesta, and now she's free.
If you read about a pesta. Can I, like, help you, wolves? No? Okay.
The Althar demanded 6 sucklings. You didn't bring but a single scurvy run. No wonder he cursed us. We're doomed. Use the one raw sour wine. The curse is your fault as much as mine.
Can I loot this now? Yes. Not stealing either? Okay. Something's down there. My bad. What's up, Dragmar?
What are you doing here?
What? The sun flying from the moon? We're making offerings to the All-God, clearly.
You too can seek his aid. That's if you got fitting offerings. He scorned ours, then cursed the old village.
You're all God. Tell me more.
The All-God, you call him. First I've heard. Is some new deity?
Nay, 'tis ancient, revered by our forefathers. They say it were like this. Roslav of Oriton came here to gather brushwood. And suddenly, for no reason, a bush burst into flame. Then, Roslav heard a voice from the ground, demanding offerings and obedience.
We've been coming here since then, bearing gifts, in exchange for which the All-God watches over us, keeps us from evil.
Mm-hmm. Plain to see that.
Your offerings. What is it? What's wrong with them?
So, what's wrong with your offerings?
You needn't mock us. You can see right well we brought scraps. Before the war, I wouldn't give this such to me hounds. But what can we do? Such are the times.
And they're like to get worse. All-God said if he don't get a rafter of bacon and a barrel of beer at least, the rivers will fill up with frogs and locusts or some such will devour the harvest.
I can have a chat with this all God.
I could intercede on your behalf with this All-God of yours. Got a feeling we'd come to an understanding.
Well, I suppose it can't hurt to try. To speak with him, you have to stand before the altar and cry out, All-God, help a poor wretch in need. Who knows, he might just listen to a foreigner.
I'll be back in 1 minute, gonna grab a drink.